Good Thursday evening, everyone. It is Thursday, September 10th, and we are back outside. The wind has kind of died down a little bit. It is cooled off a little bit, at least for the time being. I think it only got to, in the low 90s today. High 80s and low 90s, so definitely cooling off. I guess it's a sign of things to come, but we're supposed to warm up again next week, which is good. I like the warm. Don't like the cold. But anyway, good things going on here. We got a brand new tablecloth. Look how patriotic this thing is. I am digging it. Vicky's idea. Brand new patriotic flag tablecloth. I love it. So I got a couple things that I want to talk about first. Then I'll go into the questions. First of all the comments that you guys have left on Facebook and all the different places about us changing our schedules to the lives, just Tuesdays and Thursdays as far as the Facebook lives and Saturday mornings, and cutting back on those a little bit. You guys have been so supportive and just so great. So thank you so much. Just felt like we needed to do it. It was actually Vicky's idea. And felt like we needed to do it because we were kind of running behind on some other stuff. So we're still busy every day doing stuff. And anyway, we've got great things going on. Some really good videos lined up for you next week. Tomorrow morning, you should see another Zoom interview with a great dude, Matt Bay. You guys do not want to miss this one. He is terrific. Just a great, great guy. Anyway, so that's that. And then the Magoon sign, I think that either Monday or Wednesday we'll be finishing that up. That's the one with the two bears on it. The reason there's been a delay on that is because we've been waiting for the one-shot paint to get here. But it finally got here today, and everything, obviously, all the shipping is kind of slowed down over the last few weeks. But anyway, we should have that done for you either Monday or Wednesday's video.
Matt said, "Aw, shucks." How's the table coming? It's coming.
Yep, you're gonna see a video on that next week as well. At least one video.
Yeah, we're waiting for more resin to come.
Yep. And anyway, so the other day I was talking about the plastic bags for your signs and where to get those, and I talked about Uline. And then yesterday or today, we just got this postcard in the mail.
Dang, it's cold.
For the next 2 weeks, Uline normally is fairly expensive in shipping, but for the next 2 weeks, they've got free shipping. So, so check that out. Now, now I read the fine print and it says on your next order of $500 or more. Forget that. Sorry, my bad. Dad gave me that postcard and said free shipping, but he didn't read the fine print, and I just did. I should have read it before. So anyway, only free shipping if you buy $500 or more from Uline, but that's a lot of plastic bags. So anyway, we'll move on.
Well, if you get 3 or 4 people together on an order.
Well, but yeah, but then you'd have to. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Give it a shot. It's there if you want it. Okay. All right. Now, on to the questions. So, I got a question from Marla. Marla said, I ordered a profile bit off of Amazon, but I don't like the way it cuts. It has too much of a sharp point, and I can't get it to cut letters out like you do. Should I round the tip off more? So, let me explain a little bit about our profile bit.
That was not our profile bit, correct?
Correct. So, what's happening is there's kind of a miscommunication, or just somebody hasn't watched enough videos to know this is our profile bit. And let me tell you how this profile bit got its name. It got its name because Dad named it.
Zoom in on it.
If you want to. I don't know the background of my shirt. I don't know if it's going to show up. The only way this thing got its name is because Dad named it.
Bless you.
excuse me, the profile bit. So if you go out into the regular world, not this world that we live in, if you go out to a hardware store, lumber yard, woodworking supply place, any place, and ask them for a profile bit, they will have no idea what you're talking about, or they will show you a bit that is made for cutting molding in a shaper. That's traditionally within the woodworking industry, that's considered a profile, is a shaper cutter. This is our term for this bit. So when Marla said that she went to Amazon and ordered a profile bit, I go, okay, well, something's wrong there. But honestly, if you don't know, you don't know. So some people that are brand new think that any bit that kind of looks like this is a profile bit. It truly is not. So the bit that she, there it is right here. The bit that she got, and I asked her to send me a picture of it. So this is obviously very fuzzy because I blew it up to make it big enough. So this is not a profile bit. It comes down to, that's probably about a 22 degree, something like that, where our profile bit, it's just got a different design to it. It comes down to 15 degrees on the side, and then it is 45 degrees at the tip, our profile bit. Beside the fact that this one here, that one only has one cutting flute. That makes a huge difference. I believe, just looking at this, I believe it's an Amano 45782, which is something that we used to purchase. Well, no, it can't be because it's one flute. I don't know what bit this is, but it's one fluted, and there's no way it's going to cut like the profile bit. So, for all of you new people out there that hear this term profile bit, that is our name for it. Even when I have them made and order them from our supplier based on our design, I don't call it a profile bit because they won't have any idea. They have a part number. So if you go to Amazon or any place and look for a profile bit, you probably won't find this because this is our name for it.
Darren Smith said it looks like a foos bit.
That one, it's possible. I honestly, I don't know. Mara said she bought it on Amazon, and that was the only thing that she had. But it definitely looks like a veining bit. That would be called a veining bit if you had to put a name to it, or what I would put. But it's obviously only one flute. And then she said, I can't get it to cut letters out like you do, so I round off the tip. Well, unless you have a diamond wheel and you know how to sharpen cutters, I wouldn't suggest to even attempt to try to sharpen or dull the end of that bit off.
Chad said, I have the same one that's in the picture. I don't like it at all. I'm going to get my bits from y'all here on out.
Who's that?
Chad.
Chad, what's his last name?
Chad. Just
Chad?
Stacy and Chad. Yeah.
Oh. Well, thank you, Chad. We appreciate that. Thank you. We appreciate all the support we can get. So that is the deal with the profile bit. If you guys have questions, you know how to get a hold of me. But that's a really common thought with new people that just don't understand where that word or where that name profile bit came from. That's one Dad did. He named it 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Okay, so the next question, actually it was Sim Dietrich gave me a call. Sam has been following us for a long time. Terrific guy. We've had some great conversations. I really like Sam, one of my favorite people. He said he was carving a sign with some 5-inch tall outset letters. And he wanted to find out, he wanted to kind of get my thoughts on his process of carving those. So he said, I took the profile bit and I carved a 1/16 of an inch deep. And then I went back and I carved 3/16 to a quarter, something like that. That's fine. There's no problem with that at all. You can go right in that same groove, or you can, just outside of there and kind of clean it up. There's no problem with that at all. So I'm in agreement with that. Then he said, then he went around all these big 5-inch letters with the 60-degree bit to give it more room for when you do the cleanup or the background. You don't have to get as close, and that's fine. I've done that many, many, many times. I would probably use the 90-degree bit because that's the same bit that I'm going to use to do the background. I'll show you a sign here in a second. And then he, let's see, around the, okay, so he was having a problem figuring out the cloud. So he's trying to do a cloud, right? And he come around the end of the letter, and he went all the way, you've got your letter here. He went all the way from, let's say this is an H, and there's another letter here. Generally, I have one cloud per letter. So he went all the way around here to this point here. Generally, I will go to the center of the letter, and then I'll come back around to in between the letters. And he said he hated the way the cloud looked. It looked like a pregnant woman. Anyway, it was funny. We had a great conversation. So I suggested if he didn't like the way his cloud looks and he couldn't make it right, then here's what you can do. If you've got a cloud that looks funky and you just don't like it, well, what you can do is you could just make that a straight box, and then everything's going to be cut away anyway. So you could just, where your cloud looks funky, you could just go a little bit outside of that and make the whole thing, the background, in a box. And he hadn't thought of that. And that was just something that came to my mind. So if you guys start cutting clouds and you don't like the way they look, make it a box, because that looks cool too. So, and then, let's see. Oh, he was asking if you could use he'd been watching old videos, and in the old days, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I would strongly recommend that you don't use the 611, the DeWalt 611, for background. Well, I've since changed my mind on that, because that 611 is that thing is a workhorse. You see it on you see it probably on 50% of the CNC machines out there. That thing is a workhorse. So you can definitely do the background with the 611 or other palm routers. I don't know, the Harbor Freight Drill Master, I don't know. That's 2.4 amp. That might be a little bit light for the background, but you could probably still do it. Back in the old days when I first started using palm routers, I suggested to use the big 618 or the 616 or the 690 LR if you've got a Porter cable or a Craftsman or whatever, but a full-size router for doing your background. But it's just not necessary. These palm routers will definitely do your background for you with that 90-degree bit. So that was the other thing. And he asked about double cuts with the background with the 90-degree bit. I don't suggest to do that. It will look funky. You won't like it. So if you try to, like on the profile bit, if you go 1/8 of an inch and then 1/4 of an inch, it's the same line, so there's not a problem with it. But if you try to do background 1/8 of an inch first and then set it deeper to go 1/4 of an inch after that, unless you're right in that same groove, which is almost impossible on my standard background, it's just gonna look really weird, really funky. I've tried it, and it doesn't look right. So, the sign I was going to show you. This is one I did about. When was this? This was like I don't know, 8, 9 years ago. I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And this was
Hi, Dad.
Huh? Oh, I wanted to show an example of big outset letters. Now, on this particular one, it's a freeform shape. That's me holding it there. That gives you an idea of how big it was. It was pretty good size. And the customer, it was for a restaurant, actually. And the customer wanted to do his own painting. So I just had to do it unfinished. But with this, I did not go around the letters with the 90-degree bit to make a bigger line, because I've got pretty good control with that 90-degree bit. But that was all done with the 90. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, if I had gone around there It would have looked a little bit different until it was painted. But once it's painted, nobody will be able to even tell. But anyway, so I wanted to show that as just kind of an example of big outset letters and the way I go about carving.
Okay, you've got some questions.
Good, because I'm out of words.
Let's see. Tessa asked if the carving liner was one that your dad designed.
No. The carving liner is a bit that we switched over from the SC50. It is an Amana bit. You guys know we don't use anything but Amana bits now. And it was an Amana bit that I got it was a Amana bit that I saw in the catalog that I thought this might be a replacement for the SC50. And oh my Lord, it is a way upgrade from the SC50. Those of you that have tried both of them, you know. But anyway, that's not the only bit that we sell that Dad designed is the profile bit. That's directly from his design.
Get him, Gargoyle.
Get him, Mac.
It's a lizard.
Oh, he was all puffed up.
Look at him, he's all. Where'd he go, Mag?
Roy Gilbert.
Roy Gilbert says, "I know when I got my bits from y'all. I love them."
Thank you, Roy.
Pam says, "I bought that profile bit from Amazon too to start with, and it." Hey, Magnum.
Uh-oh, he's in trouble. He just knocked over Vicky's pots, and one of them broke. Yeah.
That lizard's not going to let you catch him. So Pam says, I bought that profile bit from Amazon too to start, and it's like the SC50. I quickly put it away and bought one from you.
Thank you, Pam.
Anna Murphy says, my carving is so much better with your bits. The best.
Oh, thank you. So happy you guys like them.
Robert Gallant said, I noticed that Amazon profile bit leaves a lot of sawdust in the groove, probably due to the single flute.
Yep, that's exactly right. And it's not, if it's that particular one, it's just not gonna, unless you go super shallow, it's just gonna have a lot of drag on it.
All right, Frank says, having spent 40 years working for a machine shop, I can attest to the grade of carbide Amana uses for their bits. Stick with buying your bits from Eric Roten, you'll be happier.
Thank you, Frank.
Robert Gallant said, I need to order some myself.
We appreciate all the support,
Rocky
guys.
Treywick here.
Rocky Treywick? Wow. Hey, Rocky. I haven't seen Rocky since school.
Annette Tucker says, Amana cuts like butter.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Annette.
Matt says, thoughts on customers doing painting themselves. I would have a hard time with that.
There have been many times where a customer wanted a special color, like they would say, I need chrome yellow 325. Like it's got a number on it, because if you go to hardware stores number and they want specifically a color, my go-to is, you know what? It's super easy to paint these things. I'd be happy to make it for you, finish it, and all you got to do is just get a little brush. Then you can pick out your color, get it, and then that way, this is what I tell the customer, that way you have some pride in the fact that you made part of this sign. That's the way I sell it, honestly. I am all about, if customers want to paint their own signs, I'm big on that.
All right. Michael Elliott. Just wondering, but my old Bosch orbital sander quit on me. I got an angle grinder that was my grandpa's. Is there a kind of disc I should put on that to do sanding after spraying painting my signs?
Wow, doing sanding with an angle grinder. I have used the angle grinder, but never as a sander. I'm not saying it won't work, because it spins just like the disc sander that I use, the DeWalt. But with the angle grinder, you'll need something that will receive a sanding disc. So, and they probably make them. I don't know. But you'll need, like the discs that I use are hook and loop or Velcro basically. And so you would need a receiver for your angle grinder that would go on there. I'm sure they make them, or I would think that they do. And then that way you can buy a hook and loop disc and put it on there.
Anna Murphy says, what is the carving liner used for?
Carbine liner is used for extreme detail. Very, very fine lines where this profile bit won't fit. It's too fat. But if you have some super fine lines like on the Magoon sign, there's some lines on there that I use the carbine liner for. So it's really made for extreme fine lines. And I try to save it because it is single fluted, but it cuts really good. Not like this one did. And so I try to save that as much as I can. When I can fit the profile bit, I like to use the profile bit.
Okay. Frank says it looks like Eric will have a guest in the doghouse tonight.
Yeah. Magnum ran away. He's over there.
Matt says I probably use the carbine liner more than the profile, more intricate lines.
Well, you sure did on that Cass Haley sign. Oh my gosh. That had so many... I'm surprised you didn't wear that thing out.
All right,
man.
Tessa says, what's the difference between the profile bit that you sell now and the one you used to sell?
Oh, that's really a good question. In the old days, the profile bit, because nobody made it, we hadn't had it made yet, we bought a stock Amana bit of 45780, and it was two fluted, but it looked a lot like this one that I just showed. It looked a lot like that, but it had two flute, but it was really flat on the bottom. It had probably 3/16, probably 1/8 of an inch flat on the bottom. So what we did, if you can imagine the bit looked like that and then it was flat on the bottom, we literally ground a point because Dad taught me to do it. He's been doing it forever. I've been doing it a long time. We literally took that Amana 45780 and we ground our own 45-degree points on them. Man, that was a pain. I'm glad we don't do that anymore because it was really time-consuming. So that's what we used to use. So if you guys have if you've been watching us and ordering bits from us for years, you will remember our old profile bits used to be about this tall. That was the Amana 45780 with our point ground on it. But that's, to answer the question, that's what it was.
Anna Murphy says, love hearing Eric talk about back in the day, LOL.
Back in the day. All right, sign carvers of the day.
Chad says, how far are you from Kingman? About 15 minutes.
I'm pointing at Kingman right there. It's right over that hill, about 15 minutes. Literally. All right, sign carvers of the day. Chad Ehorn. That's why I asked you about Chad. I think it's...
Is that you, Chad?
I don't know if that's Chad or not, because
That's a Chad.
That's a Chad. This is Chad here. I know that when he sent me that. So it's Chad in the picture. The Haggerty sign is 15... it is 8 by 42.
Chad says he's got cousins that live in Kingman.
Really? Come and visit.
Hold on.
The ranch sign is 11 by 24.
Roy Gilbert says, are you and your dad coming out with more bits? More new bits?
I don't see that happening as of right now. I'm considering it, but as of right now, probably not, Roy. If you guys want other bits...
Nope, it's not our Chad. This is Chad Birch. That's Chad, different Chad.
Oh, that's Chad Birch? Mm-hmm. Okay, I remember him. Anyway, so great job, Chad. Beautiful. Yeah, we don't have any plans right now to come out with any other bits. Not as of right now. Terry Eugene. So Terry was visiting his brother in Oklahoma, who is 70 years old, and taught him how to make signs, and they made this together.
Very cool.
So that was Terry and his 70-year-old brother. Terrific job, Terry. Never too old to learn. Great job. Steve Amos for his granddaughters.
Oh, how cute.
Check that out. Love it. Very, very nice. Beautiful work, Steve. Very nice. Bob Duberstein, excuse me. I made 2 signs for the Patriots for Warriors Motorcycle Club fundraiser raffle, and raised a lot of money. Did very, very well.
That's nice.
And got a lot of attention. That is really, really cool. Very cool. I don't know what size it is. Rob didn't tell me. And last but not least, Tom Gent. Second sign,
Wow.
5.5 by 19. So the color is melted crayons. Which
Oh, that's real popular.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen that on a lot of Instagram stuff. Melted crayons, and then he's got Total Boat tabletop epoxy over the top. And for his second sign,
Beautiful.
great job, man. I love it.
Hi, Winnie.
5.5 by 19. Great job, Tom.
Say hi to Winnie. Winnie's with
Hi,
Grandma.
Winnie. I thought you said Gwenny for a
No,
second.
Winnie.
Winnie. That's the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that is it, guys. That's the sign carvers of the day. Great, a great group of sign carvers. Wow, really nice stuff, guys. Beautiful. So I hope you guys are all doing well, and we will be on tomorrow night, Friday Night Live with Dad and Vicky and I, and we'll be talking about something, I'm sure. So if you guys have questions, please email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. We are having a little bit of an email issue, and I'm getting that figured out. So if you guys send me an email and you haven't heard from me within a full day, then send it again. And what else? Oh, if you're seeing this on YouTube, please subscribe. Even if you're not seeing it on YouTube, we'd love for you to subscribe over to our YouTube channel, Old Day 100, and give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Give us one of those, and we love you guys. Thanks so much for everything. We so appreciate each and every one of you to take the time to watch us and listen to me babble on. But we love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow night over on YouTube Live. Have a great one.
Good night, Gracie.
Bye.
Oops.